Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to pick up where we left off last time, but I want to do an update with this one. I want to show you what it sounds like. You're going to see driving from the first person in this video. You're going to hear just raw sound of the bike just driving, the bike under a little bit of pressure while I'm going up some hills and giving a little bit of speed. You're also going to hear some, well, I kill it, so you're going to hear it die and you're going to hear it start up again. I want to say thanks so much for the comments. I want to address some of your comments. I really appreciate it. If you are, a lot of people are commenting that this video series is helping them make their decision whether they're going to buy it or don't. They're not going to buy it. Awesome. That's exactly the reason I made this channel. So check it out. We're going to listen to raw feed in just about 30 seconds or 60 seconds or something like that. And I'm going to play a bunch of it. So the bike under some pressure, the bike just cruising. You're going to get like seriously 4 minutes or 5 minutes. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to be answering a couple comment questions. I thought it'd be kind of fun if I just answered them in the video. So let's do that. I really love you guys' comments. Thanks so much. I made this thing. I was like, I wonder if anyone's even going to watch this stupid video, these couple videos. But I didn't want you to just go into this thing blind like I did. But I honestly really think that, the more I have this bike, it's got another hiccup, by the way. I let it sit in my shed during the winter, and now the carb is clogged. That's just the thing with carbureted vehicles, but it's got another small hiccup. I think I can just clean this thing out, but I think the spark plug is just not top quality. And so, anyway, I'm going to fix it up because it's almost springtime. Where I'm at, the snow just suddenly melted. Where I live, you get about 5 months of winter, 5 months of summer, and about 1 month of spring and 1 month of fall. And that's just how it is. And the springtime just hit us like a ton of bricks. I think it's going to be about summertime in about, seriously, 4 or 5 weeks. And so I got to fix it up. Anyway, I'm going to play you some raw video. Here's a note though. If you want to find out if you're a crazy person, just start recording yourself and then play it back, because you'll hear yourself talk to yourself in these broken sentence fragments. So that's what I'm doing for some reason. Those are the edits, by the way, in this. I was like, I got to cut those out. So anyway, let's hop into this. So let's hear some sound. And if you hear me talking to myself, here we go. You hear me talking to myself. I don't know why, and I don't know what I was saying, and I thought I wasn't saying anything. But I just started saying random stuff. Like, you'll hear me in a minute. I just go, oh, dude, I'm in the middle of the woods. There's thousands of trees. There's millions of trees around me. And for some reason, I just go, look out. Like, it's just a tree. I don't even look at it. I just drive by it. Anyway, so you can hear the bike now. I'll just talk about the exhaust. Doesn't sound bad. I wouldn't say it sounds amazing or anything, but it sounds fine. I think it might sound on the good side of the spectrum. You know what I mean? If we're going to do high school test, grading, scale, rules, right? Easily it's a C+, easily it's a B-. I've heard better exhaust, but it's easily a B-. Let's hop into some of these comments, because I'm answering Godwin3265, breakdown bill number 1, and MRM, or 4789. Here's your video, baby. I'm just cruising. You can see my speed. I'm just doing like 25 or something, because that's what I like doing. I just like getting in the woods. I just want to go down some old roads, some old trails. I want to find a little river. I want to beat the water. I want to drink a beer in the woods. Not 2 beers, not 5 beers. Just drink 1 beer in the woods. Hang out. That's what I like to do. That after. But anyway, so Colin Coffin 8898. How did you get the shaking to stop? Did you change a part, or did you just stop after breaking it in? It took a minute, and you have to break it in. I broke it in a slightly different way than a lot of other people break their motorcycles in. I just rode it kind of like normal, and I tried to have the RPMs all over the band. So I wasn't just riding it light. I wasn't riding it super hard. Some people say ride it like you stole it to break it in. No way, man. I did it all over the thing, all over the spectrum, so I could let the heat of the piston mate with the heat of the combustion chamber. I wanted them to heat up together and mate with each other, so you can get just an incredibly good seal. So I wanted to do it all over the spectrum, so I could just do it like that. But that's just my strategy. But it just stopped on its own. It stopped right around 350 miles. It really smoothed out. Brandon Berg 7703 says, does your keychain say bend over passes? Nope. You got to keep on guessing. You can kind of see it. But whatever. No, it doesn't. Steve Pope 5484. Did you ever mention the price dipping sauce. I know what dipping sauce costs. Okay, I did mention the price. I ended up getting it. One of my other videos, I go through the whole breakdown of the cost of registration, of titling it. You have to get this thing titled, by the way. You get a certificate of ownership. You have to take that to the courthouse. I had to take mine to the courthouse. I had to go. Luckily, I live in a small town. There's not even 2,000 people. We don't have a stoplight, nothing. And the courthouse, everything is done in the same building. So I just walked around in circles for about 25 minutes. I had everything notarized, stamped, ready to go. But honestly, I don't think you'd have to make 2 stops. It was actually pretty easy to do. And as far as the price, everything said and done, including registration, I think it was registration, but the titling, the shipping, the tax, everything was $2,096. Everything said and done. It was $1,800 to buy it, or it was like $1,699 with like $300 of shipping, and titling was, I don't know, I think registration was $104. I can't remember now. Brian Reed 259. A lot of people commented actually this one. You're missing a rear rotor bolt. Yeah, I noticed that when I got home and I was watching the video so I could upload it. And I went outside and I was like, oh no, I'm missing a bolt. So I had a bolt. So I had to quick fix that. But that's a quick fix. That's another reason you should be doing some blue Loctite. CJHEJDL said, I was looking for that part you said you used the Loctite on some bolt in the other video, but I'm going to delete it from my cart now. Don't delete Loctite if you're getting this thing. In fact, buy another bottle. Everything that I put Loctite on since has not come loose a single thing. A single turn. I've used blue Loctite. They seem to be doing really good, but don't skip on the Loctite. Viper83 says the X and the M both have carburetors. I'm getting the Templar X at 6 gears. A lot of people commented this. Yeah, I guess I had it wrong. I guess some of the other models do have the option for carburetor. When I bought this one, though, I looked at things. I couldn't find another option for carburetor. Classic Guitar Rock JFL says that scenery looks like we live close to each other. Doubt it. I don't live close to anybody. That's why I moved out here. If you're my neighbor, that's Chill Dog, but you're not. If you are a neighbor, you're far away. I thought you saw, who is it? 57 Monoshock says, I thought I saw Bigfoot eyeing the bike at one point. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Bigfoot sightings are out here. He would come out here. OMZ 3403 says, I got 350 miles on mine and it still vibrates like crazy, but still fun. You got to change those tires. No good for dirt. That's the thing that went wrong with mine, the tires. What's going on? And I'm not going to talk your ear off about this, but check this out. This bike is made in Wuhan, China. That is a city we all know for all the wrong reasons, but Wuhan is just a production hub of the world. It is a city that's about the size of LA times 5 or 6 on one side of the Yangtze River where they make this thing. It's just factories. And I'm telling you, go on Google Maps and try to find it and notice that you can't barely see anything in a city that's about the size of 5 times the size of LA. That's because China controls that so much. There are factories smushed up against each other for 100 miles or more in all directions, okay? But on the other side of the river are warehouses for these factories as well, and they ship these bikes. What they'll do is they'll get a factory going, and they will have this thing running. They'll make 20,000 bikes. Then they'll move around all the tooling, box it up, and then use that same factory as a shipping hub and send these bikes out until it's time to start making them again. They'll make 20,000 bikes in a year or 2, and then just sell them for a year or 2 in order to utilize the space as efficiently as possible. What does that mean? Why am I mentioning this? Because your bike will sit in a warehouse right next to a river for several years, including these tires. It is not unheard of. By the way, look at these stickers. I got this 2023. It's wearing the 2020 stickers on it. That's 3 years. Okay? This is a brand new bike. Oh, by the way, I did some mods to it so I could strap things to the back. That's kind of the fun thing about getting a cheap dirt bike is it doesn't matter. You can just bolt stuff to things. It don't matter. Anyway, but those tires have a shelf life. What they do is they cover them in oil to try to preserve them. But what's happening is they're sitting by a river. They're sitting in the worst life experience a tire could possibly have before it even reaches the consumer. And I'm pretty sure my bike sat like that for about 4.5 years. So those tires have aged. And what has happened is it might have sat longer. What happened was the tube was in it too, probably inflated because it arrived at my door with the tires inflated. And what happened was the tube and the tire, I think they had friction. It completely severed the valve stem off when I was riding. I just went from full to nothing. No, just a flat. I was washing out in the rear end. I got home. Everything was fine. Everything was safe and fine, but I could not get that tire off. And then I could not get a tube in, and I could not get that tire back on. It was a wrestling match. Have you ever changed a dirt bike tire? It should be a terrible 20 minutes. A terrible 30 minutes if you don't know what you're doing. This took 2 hours, and by the time I got it on, I had pinched flat the tube. I had to try again. I pinched flat the next tube because that tire is stiff in the areas you don't want it stiff in, and it is flexy in the areas you don't want it flex in. Why? Just because the dang thing, I think it might be 5 or 6 years old when it showed up to my doorstep. It just doesn't want to flex. It just doesn't want to do anything. So I got to get a brand new rear dirt bike tire. I mean, I do. That's just going to have to be how it is. But that's just part of buying this bike, is you're going to have to solve a lot of tiny, small problems. And to me, it's a learning experience. I'm loving it. Good deal. I love it. Because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to solve these little problems. And you're going to do it with me. We're going to solve these problems together. Deno2FOA says, I think I'm buying a Templar. I just want to know if it's a good size for me. I'm 5'11". I weigh 160. Will the bike be too small for me, or is it the right size for my height? You're looking at me in these videos. I am 6'2". I wear boots to probably give me another half inch or something. I just wear hiking boots everywhere because, I mean, I live in the middle where. And this bike is just barely small for me. So probably for you, if you're 3 inches shorter than I am, it'll be just right. You know, I'm 6'2", 200. So I'm sure if you're wearing hike boots, you'd be 6 foot, right? So, I mean, I think you're going to do just fine. I've heard it is a little bit taller than other bikes, but not bad. I think you'll be able to have heels on the ground. Maybe just barely, but you'll be able to have heels on the ground. Jeffrey Sr. 2 weeks ago says, if you're going to recheck a rebolt, you might as well put some blue Loctite on every bolt. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You better put some blue Loctite on it. You better put some blue Loctite on it, or you're going to be in some trouble. Baby. That is just what's going to happen. You're going to be hurting if you don't get some blue Loctite on this thing. Because it vibrates, at least for the first several hundred miles. It's going to vibrate. But anyway, hey, I'm just doing a quick recap. This will be a quicker video. I got some more things to film. I'm going to actually film me working on this thing because I want you to have that experience as well. It is different kind of dirt bike. So my next video isn't going to be riding or anything. Let's hear this thing not move around. Let's hear the sounds of it getting worked down, because the steel is a little bit softer than what I'm used to with the motorcycle. It's just got a little bit of, well, it's just a little bit lower quality. I mean, it's still a very high value for the price bike. I think it's still a very strong buy for me, but I'm going to take it down from an 80% from a solid bottom of the barrel B, a B minus. Why don't we do that? A B minus. I'm going to take it back down to high C plus area, 78% or something, just because lots of tiny, tiny things are there adding up again. It's such a value for the dollar. I really think it's like you and I, check this out. If you're watching this video, check this out. There was this experience that probably if you're watching this video, you didn't get to have, which was coming of age. You're 20, you're 25, something like that, in like the year 1977, when those Hondas came on the market. My dad bought a Triumph right then. When did he buy it? Actually, in the early 80s, I don't know, but it was no, I think it was late 70s. He got it for $1,200, brand new. It was the fastest production bike they had. He had no idea what he had. He rode it. He had a blast with it for a couple of years. Got rid of it. He didn't understand. A lot of people had access to these Honda dirt bikes in the late 70s, early 80s for seriously like $600. For like $700, $800 brand new, okay? Sometimes less than that. Brand new. They had no idea. Check it out. These goofballs still have that same dirt bike in their shed or their garage because it's still cruising 50 years in. Let me tell you, I don't think you have access right now. You're looking at that Templar 250. I don't think you have access to that exact same experience, but I think you have access, if you're watching this video, to something pretty close. This is not the A-plus Honda that will last 55 years and still keep on kicking. But honestly, for $2,096 shipped to your front door and titled, and you can register it, you're getting a tremendous value. I'm not paid by Xpro Templar, okay? I'm not paid. They didn't pay me to say that, whatever. I don't have a single sponsorship. Seriously, if you can, I might put a frickin' PayPal or Tip Pro or whatever they call it on this video, because give me $1. Dang, I'm broke, okay? Look, help me out. But I don't have any money. But check this out. You have an opportunity to have access to that experience where you buy something and get way more than you bargained for, but in the good way. This bike will run. It sounds good, yeah, but it's got the oomph. It will get you there. And if you do your end of it, like, you're going to have to replace some stuff. Replace that chain right away, okay? Just replace the chain. You're going to want to. Change the oil and put some good oil on it. I'm going to say right now, change the spark plug out. What's a spark plug? $4? Right now, we got Bidenomics, so maybe it's like $12. But whatever, it's $12. Put a thing on there. And it looks like the tires might be another thing that you're going to have to consider. Just because you might get something that's just old, flex that thing, hold it in your hand, see if you need to replace those tires, squeeze them around, feel what they feel like. Maybe yours are good. But for me, I noticed they felt a little, not bad, but a little weird. You might have to change out the tires. That's not so bad. But check this out, man. You get, maybe with, I change out the carburetor too, but maybe this bike plus some tinkering around, a little bit of customizing, you throw a carburetor at it and you throw some new tires on it, and so you're talking an extra $250 because you have to put stuff on there. But really, dude, you have access to something in this bike that is going to serve you for a long time if you take care of it. And here's the thing, you're getting access to this thing dirt cheap. And look at that. I mean, I'm right just next to some random burned out car in the middle of no place, but I get to go out there. I get to go way out there. And I get to know I'm coming back because this thing just keeps proving reliable as I'll get out. I trust this thing way out in the deep woods. I trust it. I mean, I always bring food and water when I go out. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not crazy. And I always pack heat. But, I trust this bike, and it was dirt cheap, and you can have it too. All right. I love you. Have a good one. Do a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Find my OnlyFans. I'm just joking around. I love you. Have a good one. Take care. Okay. Goodbye.